Hey gang, this is Colin Reese. Now that the Gold Cup's over, I've heard a lot of chatter about who's going to be playing what positions in World Cup qualifying and just more chatter about some of the positional battles. And I want to talk about Gio Reyna today. I've heard people talking about whether Gio Reyna is a wing or like what position he should really play. And I've also heard a couple people say like people aren't ready to have the discussion about Reyna playing as a number 10. But Gio Reyna's always really been a number 10. That's his natural position. He's just a really good attacking player, so he's able to play as a right or left wing as well, or even as like a second striker. You could probably play him too, like as an 8 if you needed to. That's definitely in his wheelhouse. But Reyna is just a really smooth technical player that's got great vision and creativity, and he's got good dribbling skills too. So he's definitely someone that can feed passes to our forwards. And I think the ideal setup actually for the U.S. men's national team is to have Gio Reyna as a number 10 behind Christian Pulisic as a second striker and Matthew Hoppe as the first striker. I really like Matthew Hoppe. He's a really direct, aggressive striker. He's a complete first striker. And there's other options at striker in the U.S. pool, but I think Hoppe is probably the best one right now. I'm actually a really big Bobby Wood fan and Rubio Rubin. And when I've mentioned them recently, people have kind of laughed and scoffed at the idea and I guess thought I was trolling. But both Rubio Rubin and Bobby Wood are also like really technical, complete strikers that are really direct. And it's really important to have a direct striker. It's like one of the best things you can have on your team is a really direct, aggressive striker. And then obviously if they're actually like clinical in their finishing and they're skillful and technical, then that's really what you want. But just having them be really direct is a really good asset. But obviously just being direct isn't enough. But I think with Hoppe plays like that, but also Rubin and Wood play like that. So if you have Gio Reyna as the 10 with really aggressive direct players like Pulisic and Hoppe, then the US has a lot stronger attack and has the potential to score a lot more goals. So I don't think there's any adaptation needed to have Gio Reyna play as a 10 or as a central attacking midfielder, or however you want to call it. That's really his position, and he's just kind of been playing on the wings with Dortmund just because of the other people on the team and because he's young. And he's also actually a lot faster than someone like Sebastian Lletget, from what I can tell. And a lot of people rag on Sebastian Lletget, but I think if you have Sebastian Lletget playing deeper in the midfield with McKennie, with Weston, McKennie, and Tyler Adams, then someone like Reyna has another skillful player to combine with to play 1 to 2 touch football. So I think it's important to have like a critical mass of players like that. A lot of people would think like, oh, well, if Reyna's in there, then you don't need Lletget. But I think it would be really useful to have Lletget combining with Reyna and then the two of them being able to feed Hoppe and Pulisic. So that's what I think the U.S. needs to do in World Cup qualifying. And so I don't think there's any real like mystery that the number 10 is the real best position for Reyna. And there's obviously the option to have him as an outside forward or a wing, depending on the formation. But what I was describing would be something like a diamond midfield where you had Adams at the base of the midfield as the defensive midfielder, and then McKennie and Lletget as kind of central box-to-box midfielders, and then at the tip of the diamond there, you'd have Reyna. And so you could actually even describe that as still a 4-3-3, because Reyna would be in the forward line, but he would be deeper than Pulisic and Hoppe, who would be in front of him. So however you want to describe it, it's the same thing. And then we also have the issue of trying to get Timothy Weah in somewhere. and it's possible maybe he's better than Hoppe as a striker, but Way has been playing striker recently in France, but we know already that he's excellent as a wing or as a second striker, and first striker is kind of newish to him, but I think he'll just keep getting better and better at it. But really the focus of this video was Reyna, and I think the US should just go ahead and have him as the 10 and have Christian Pulisic as the second striker. So thanks everyone for tuning in. See you next time.